graduation of the Army National Guard Non-Career Recruiter Course, Class 19-002. We'd also like to recognize those families and friends that are watching at home on Facebook Live. I'm Sergeant Williams from the Strength Maintenance Training Center, and it is my pleasure to serve as your Master of Ceremonies. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the entrance of the official party. The official party consists of First Sergeant John Edwards, Mr. Heath Strickland, Sergeant First Class Cristobal Lopez, Staff Sergeant Sean Griffin, Mr. Howard Goff, Mr. Sean Edwards, Miss Andrea Novell, Mr. Mark Parker, and Mr. Brandon Arnold. Please remain standing for the national anthem and the invocation given by Chaplain Found.
We ask a word of invocation of opening blessing on our ceremony this morning. Let us pray. O Lord, this is indeed the day you've made, and we are glad in it. For today is a day of completion, a day of accomplishment, a day of achievement. We give you great thanks for the fruits of the labors that we harvest here today, the hard work of the students, the cadres, staff, and faculty alike over these past 5 weeks. We pray your blessing upon these 177 students, soon to be graduates of SQI4 Class 19-002. Prepare their hearts and their minds to graduate and look with favor upon our ceremony this morning. We proceed in your most glorious name above all names. Amen.
Please be seated. Our guest speaker today is First Sergeant John Edwards, the First Sergeant of Bravo Company in Arkansas Recruiting and Retention Battalion. First Sergeant John Edwards was born in Hot Springs, Arkansas in 1982. He joined the Army National Guard as a high school senior in May of 2000 and attended basic combat training at Fort Benning, Georgia, followed by his AIT at Fort Gordon, Georgia. He mobilized during Operation Noble Eagle from 2003 to 2004. He joined the Arkansas Recruiting and Retention Command in June of 2004 and graduated SQI4 in September of 2004. First Sergeant Edwards served as a Recruiting and Retention NCO from October of 2004 to April 2015. During this time, he enlisted and trained over 220 new soldiers in the Arkansas Army National Guard, receiving multiple state of Arkansas top 10 recruiting awards and numerous other state recognitions. He is a graduate of Army Airborne School, Air Assault course, and served as Rappel Master for his state and RSP sites. First Sergeant Edwards was promoted to Recruit and Retention NCOIC during fiscal year 2015, and then selected as Company First Sergeant in fiscal year 2016, where he's currently serving the soldiers and NCOs of Bravo Company, Black Knights. In the fall of 2017, First Sergeant Edwards was inducted into the Arkansas Army National Guard Recruiting and Retention Hall of Fame. He is married to his high school sweetheart, Melissa, and they have 3 sons, Caleb, Ethan, and Gavin. It is my pleasure to introduce to you First Sergeant Evans.
Y'all look good. Y'all look good. How do I look? I checked myself in the mirror on the way up, not too bad. But hey, it is a very distinct honor to be here with you guys, okay? And I'm going to be very brief, I promise. I will not spend a lot of your time. I know you're ready to get on the road, get back home, see your family, get to work, right? But I'm not going to waste your time. So the words I'm going to say, I hope that you take something with you. I'm going to try to say something that has an impact in your life. So I want you to take one, maybe two things, okay? I'm going to stop my foot on a couple of those things that they should be. First of all, you think you know, but you have no idea how big of an impact you're about to have in the lives of men and women. Okay? It's a big deal. Don't take that for granted. Hey, by the way, on that bio, it's long, it's kind of boring. I'll shorten it up, but something real cool happened last year. I didn't update it yet. A kid, 17 years old, swore in to the Arkansas Army National Guard at 13 Bravo. Cool? If you signed up for this as a job, wrong answer. Okay, this is a lifestyle. Got it? You can't do this. This isn't, you're not a readiness NCO, you're not a training NCO, it's not supply, it's not unit admin. If you think you're going to be able to go 7:30 to 3 o'clock, it doesn't work. 9 to 5, it's not happening. It's a lifestyle, okay? It's kind of like PT. If PT is something that you put on your calendar, you're like, hey, I'm going to go get PT, well, you're never going to be good at physical fitness, sorry. But if it's part of your life, then you're going to rock it. Then you're going to be a 270 or above guy or girl. This job's the same way. You can't turn it off. You can't silence your cell phone. Okay? You can't fold up your laptop and put it in your bag. And it's part of finding a balance, right? Because you're going to put your family first. But sometimes, if this is a job, it will come before your family, so you can't do that. It's got to be part of your lifestyle. So that's the deal. You'll find success if this becomes part of your life and not a job. Find that balance. So let's talk about a couple of basic responsibilities. You probably know about those, right? Accomplishing your mission, welfare of soldiers, kind of a big deal. It works perfect in this position, guys, because that's it. The only thing you got to do is make your mission and then take care of those kids that you put in, those young men and women, taking care of your soldiers. If you take care of your soldiers, they will take care of you. And I'll tell you, I don't know too many places in the Army where you can have an immediate, direct impact and also a very broad influence, right? You can have immediate impact with those kids that you put in and you train them, you build them in your likeness. Hey, there's two people that we'll never forget in our military career, right? Who are they? Recruiter and drill sergeant, right? You all heard it. It's true though. And I bet if we polled the audience right now, everybody in here would have something to say about their recruiter. And it's one or the other, right? Which one are you going to be? What's your legacy going to be? Okay? Take that into it, because you're going to start building it tomorrow. Next thing, mission, accomplishing. How are you going to do it? Hey, look at me right here in the eyes. Live in your high schools, okay? That's it. Live in your high school. If you don't have a high school and a college recruiter, live in your college, okay? That's it. Then work the science. You heard about that? There's a science and there's an art. The science is the numbers, guys. That's it. Some of you guys, you're science guys. You may not be very good at the art. Like, I have a hard time talking to people. Maybe you're uncomfortable. That's fine. Work the numbers. Work that science. Some of you are like, man, I can talk to anybody. I can sell ketchup popsicle to a girl in white glove, something like that. But here's the thing. If you can take the science, those numbers, right? That 5, 1, 2, 1 plus 1, that's a real thing and it works. And then you take it in good at the art, you combine those things, man, that's whenever you're really doing it, okay? That's when it becomes easy. And it probably won't be easy for another year, okay? So know that. I'll be honest, it's probably going to suck before it gets good. Cool? Okay? It's very humbling. Be prepared. NCOs, probably never, ever fail anything in your life. You will have failures in this job, okay? It's going to come. You've heard that. It's okay. Be resilient. Take it in stride. You got this. It'll get better. This time next year, you have your head up high, your chest out, you'll be doing good. Last thing. This goes without saying. Do the right thing. Okay? Don't compromise your integrity. Don't compromise your moral courage. It's not a matter of if, it's when you find yourself in that situation. Okay? It's going to happen. Do the right thing. Reach out to your battle buddies. Police your peers. Okay? Don't forget, don't let your buddies forget that we're professionals. Non-commissioned officers. Leave it to Thanks, guys.
Thank you for those words of encouragement, First Sergeant Edwards. The instructors for 1st Platoon were Mr. Heath Strickland and Mr. Michael Smith. At this time, Mr. Strickland will address his platoon for the last time. The awarding of diplomas and badges will follow. Please hold your applause until all students have received their diplomas.
1st Platoon, I'm going to keep it short and sweet because I know you guys are ready to go. Ready. All jokes aside, guys, you made mine and Mr. Smith's job easy. You came to class every day, excited to learn. Nobody was ever late. I've never had that. Nobody was late for class that I know of. So I think you guys are pretty neat. And I'm excited for you to go home and do big things. I know I have faith in each and every one of you. If you go home and do the things we taught you and the things that you already know about, you'll do well. Okay? 1st Platoon, prepare to graduate.
Staff Sergeant Abrams. Staff Sergeant Adorno. Sergeant Augusto. Sergeant Albright. Sergeant Alford. Staff Sergeant Alta Miranda. Sergeant Alvarado. Specialist Anaya. Sergeant Anderson. Sergeant Nichols. Sergeant Arnder. Sergeant Arnwine. Sergeant Atkinson. Staff Sergeant Ayala. Sergeant Baez. Staff Sergeant Bang. Sergeant Barkston. Sergeant Barrington. Sergeant Bennett. Sergeant Verdan. Staff Sergeant Boring. Sergeant Brandon. The 1st Platoon Sergeant is Sergeant First Class Albers. Sergeant First Class Albers will also be receiving a Certificate of Excellence. Sergeant First Class Albers will address the platoon for the last time.
Congratulations, 1st Platoon. It's been a pleasure meeting all of you. We worked really well as a team. Everybody was professional. It showed, and we had the highest GPA average. Right? So that shows our professionalism and how we looked out and after each other. So we are, we're the face of the Army National Guard. We're in the people business. Take care of our people, and they're going to take care of you, and you'll have a good vision. Thank you very much.
The instructors for 2nd Platoon were Sergeant First Class Cristobal Lopez and Mr. Tim Smith. At this time, Sergeant First Class Lopez will address his platoon for the last time. The awarding of diplomas and badges will follow. Please hold your applause until all students have received their diploma.
All right, second platoon, you have earned the right to wear your badge, right? And remember this, your word is your bond, okay? So if you promise somebody something, make sure they're eligible to do it. Alright? Second platoon, prepare to graduate.
Sergeant Brazel. Staff Sergeant Brown. Staff Sergeant Buckeye. Staff Sergeant Buglehall. Sergeant Cabrera. Sergeant Castonguay. Sergeant Champion. Sergeant Cesaro. Staff Sergeant Christian. Sergeant Cuevo. Sergeant Cole. Sergeant Copley. Staff Sergeant Cosby. Sergeant Cotton. Sergeant Kramer. Staff Sergeant Crowder. Sergeant Cruz. Sergeant Danforth. Sergeant Diaz Cruz. Staff Sergeant Diaz. Staff Sergeant Dobbin. Sergeant Dorr. Second platoon sergeant is Staff Sergeant Davis. Staff Sergeant Davis will also be receiving a certificate of excellence. Staff Sergeant Davis will address her platoon for the last time.
Thank you so much for letting me use some time. Because of the standards that you guys held, you made it feel completely easy. We go back to our state, everybody remain eligible. As we always tell, I thank you for the laughter, the fun, while holding each other up and sticking together. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate every single one.
The instructors for 3rd Platoon were Staff Sergeant Sean Griffin and Mr. Bill Smith. At this time, Staff Sergeant Griffin will address his platoon for the last time. The awarding of diplomas and badges will follow. Please hold your applause until all students have received their diploma.
Good morning, 3rd Platoon. Good morning. Each and every day we wake up, Sarnes, okay, and we have a choice we can make. We can choose to be internally focused, or we can choose to be externally focused. This position that you're in isn't about what you can do for yourself. Think about what you can do for others, your applicants, your schools, this organization. You help enough people get what they want, and those people are going to help you in your life. All right, have an external focus. Do what you can for others. 3rd Platoon, prepare to graduate.
Sergeant Duan. Sergeant Duncan. Sergeant Edwards. Sergeant Evian. Staff Sergeant Fisher. Staff Sergeant Fisher. Sergeant Forbes. Sergeant Francis. Sergeant Franzen. Sergeant Garrett. Staff Sergeant Gatewood. Staff Sergeant Jurassic. Sergeant Gilly. Sergeant Gonzalez. Sergeant First Class Gordon. Sergeant Grant. Sergeant Grant. Staff Sergeant Greenlee. Staff Sergeant Greer. Staff Sergeant Guzman. The 3rd Platoon Platoon Sergeant is Staff Sergeant Epps. Staff Sergeant Epps will also be receiving a Certificate of Excellence. Staff Sergeant Epps will address his platoon for the last time.
All right, 3rd Platoon, I wanted to say thank y'all. It's been a great experience, met a lot of great people. I've learned a lot of great best practices from each of y'all. But, just go on and do your best that you can at your states. Like I said, y'all can reach out to me at any time if y'all need anything. Let's get on to the house.
The instructors for 4th Platoon were Mr. Howard Goff and Mr. William Law. At this time, Mr. Goff will address his platoon for the last time. The awarding of diplomas and badges will follow. Please hold your applause until all students have received their diplomas.
Good morning, 4th Platoon.
Good morning, sir.
Well, you're all ready to go. I know you are. When you get out there, what you need to do is every prospect that sits in front of you, Just remember, you have something they want. Your job is to figure out what it is and give it to them. Don't forget that that is a person sitting in front of you, not just your next enlistment. Build those relationships. They will help you out in the long run. Oh, and beyond popular belief in this room, you do put applicants on deck. 4th Platoon, prepare to graduate.
Sergeant Haddon. Staff Sergeant Harrison. Staff Sergeant Allenstein. Sergeant Hazelrig. Sergeant Hernandez. Sergeant Hetrick. Sergeant Hurd. Sergeant Oral. Sergeant Hoyt. Staff Sergeant Hunter. Sergeant First Class 1. Sergeant Jack. Sergeant Jackson. Sergeant Jock. Sergeant Johnson. Sergeant First Class Johnston. Sergeant Jones. Sergeant Julian. Sergeant Justice. Sergeant Justice. Staff Sergeant Kinney. Sergeant King. Fourth Platoon Sergeant is Sergeant Hall. Sergeant Hall will also be receiving a Certificate of Excellence. Sergeant Hall will address his platoon for the last time.
What's going on, 4th Platoon?
What's up?
Hey, first and foremost, I want to let you all know that you're great, and I have no doubt in my mind you're going to go out there and do great things. It was truly an honor to meet every single one of you. I'd like to share a popular phrase by Julius Caesar that I know suits all of you perfect. In Latin, it's Veni Vidi Vici, and in English it means I came, I saw, and I conquered. Good job, 4th Platoon.
The instructors for 5th Platoon were Mr. Sean Edwards and Sergeant First Class Jonathan Webster. At this time, Mr. Edwards will address his platoon for the last time. The awarding of diplomas and badges will follow. Please hold your applause until all students have received their diploma.
All right, 5th Platoon, you made it. an honor to be your instructor. You made every day fun and exciting. I love to come to these labs, especially you staff specialist McCann. Remember when you go home to think outside the box. Don't anybody tell you you can't do this. If you want to achieve success, go out and get it, period. Remember that you're changing lives. You're recruiting the future of the National Guard. Love what you do. Be present. Be invested. And just love it. 5th platoon, prepare to graduate.
Staff Sergeant Kingsland. Staff Sergeant Kramer. Sergeant LeBaire. Sergeant Lacey. Sergeant Ladigan. Sergeant Lampier. Sergeant Ledford. Sergeant Laner. Sergeant Ludwig. Staff Sergeant Mackey. Sergeant Maddox. Sergeant First Class Major. Sergeant First Class Martin. Staff Sergeant Martovich. Sergeant Mason. Sergeant McCook. Sergeant McDaniel. Specialist McCann. Sergeant McLeod. Staff Sergeant McPherson. Sergeant Meekma. Fifth platoon sergeant is Sergeant LeBeau. Sergeant LeBeau will also be receiving a certificate of excellence. Sergeant LeBeau will address his platoon for the last time.
Morning, guys. I'm gonna try not to cry. Hot up here. You made my job easy. I appreciate it. I really do. If you ever need port docs in North Carolina, let me know.
The instructors for 6th Platoon, Miss Andrea Norvell and Sergeant First Class Charlie Williams. At this time, Miss Norvell will address her platoon for the last time. The awarding of diplomas and badges will follow. Please hold your applause until all students have received their diploma.
Good morning, 6th Platoon. Y'all ready to do this?
Yes,
Ready to get out of here?
Yeah.
Ready for you to go and do good things? Ethically? 6th Platoon had the best hair? The rubric? And rule brings. 6th Platoon, prepare to graduate.
Sergeant Mitchell. Sergeant Mofidi. Sergeant Mosley. Sergeant Mueller. Staff Sergeant Macy. Sergeant Nadeau. Sergeant Neubauer. Sergeant First Class Wynn. Sergeant Obeyday. Sergeant Olson. Staff Sergeant Olson. Sergeant Colombo. Sergeant Hattie. Sergeant Pena. Sergeant Flemel. Sergeant Potter. Sergeant Price. Sergeant Puga. Sergeant Pump. Sergeant Randolph. Sergeant Ray. Staff Sergeant Reynoso. Sixth Platoon Sergeant is Specialist Pack. Specialist Pack will also be receiving a Certificate of Excellence. Specialist Pack will address his platoon for the last time.
All right, so platoon, I think it's safe to say we definitely gave G-Wing one for the book. About our ups and downs, and definitely had our fair share of staff duty, but that's all right, we got through it. So I think we all brought something different to the table, and so I think we should rely on each other and kind of lean on each other whenever we need help. Use that to our advantage. I appreciate all your motivation and camaraderie. I think that was awesome. I think we had the best camaraderie out of all the people here. Pretty unique class. As for motivation, I think the RIs are a lot like the sidebars. Can't eliminate it quickly, but keep it to a low roar. So you have to get the RIs are small. And then wise words to start with is hope your rank can afford it. So, I appreciate you guys a lot. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys letting me be here from the start. Thank you.
The instructors for 7th Platoon were Mr. Mark Parker and Sergeant First Class Bradley Haggard. At this time, Mr. Parker will address his platoon for the last time. The awarding of diplomas and badges will follow. Please hold your applause until all students have received their diplomas.
Good morning, 7th Platoon. On behalf of your instructor team, we want to once again say congratulations and best of luck as you provide the strength for the Army National Guard. Although this mission is important, as you heard, don't forget to take care of your personal and professional self-development. But most importantly, don't forget to take care of your families, as their support is going to be as critical to help you write this next chapter of your careers.
I'll say cool.
7th Platoon, prepare to graduate.
Staff Sergeant Roberts. Sergeant Robichaud. Sergeant First Class Rodarte. Sergeant Salva. Sergeant Scherer. Staff Sergeant Sales. Staff Sergeant Severs. Sergeant Sheets. Sergeant Sheldon. Staff Sergeant Sherman. Sergeant Singh. Sergeant Smothers. Sergeant Spradlin. Sergeant First Class Stevens. Sergeant Styler. Staff Sergeant Stroll. Sergeant Stroud. Sergeant Sweetland. Sergeant Takamura. The 7th Platoon Platoon Sergeant is Sergeant Smith. Sergeant Smith will also be receiving a certificate of excellence.
All right, so 7th Platoon. Well, I prepared this elaborate speech, and I could go on for days. Really. But you guys made it easy. You guys made it easy. I appreciate you making me your leader. It was truly an honor. Stevens, can you hear me?
I can.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
okay, good.
Funny.
But again, guys, it was an absolute honor to be your leader and to be able to stand in front of you as your representative. I could play tribute to each and every one of you, but they've only allotted me 1 to 3 minutes per the rubric, so I got to wrap this thing up. So here goes, 7th Platoon. As you take on the rigors of being a National Guard recruiter, remember to hold on to your value system, your work ethic, and most importantly, your humanity. Right, Stroll? It's these qualities that will guide you to success, future promotions, and unlimited accolades. And I will close with this. Your life, this job, is a remarkable occasion. I have no doubt that you will rise to it.
The instructors for 8th Platoon were Mr. Brandon Arnold and Sergeant First Class Robert Payton. At this time, Mr. Arnold will address the platoon for the last time. The awarding of diplomas and badges will follow. Please hold your applause until all students have received their diploma.
Good morning. First through the 7th, congratulations. I mean that. Congratulations, good job. 8th platoon.
Get the man.
Get the man. 8th platoon. They talked about how they had the highest GPA and the best hair. We had the most fun. We can prove that by our GPA and our hair. Sergeant Payton and I challenged you 5 weeks ago to do 3 things when you stepped into the classroom every day. Learn something new, have fun, and be an NCO first. Carry that forward with you. Learn something new every day. It doesn't have to be about recruiting, but continue to grow as a person and as a soldier. Have fun. This is the most rewarding job you can have in the military. You get to shape the future of the Army National Guard inside your state. Don't take that duty lightly, but have fun while you're doing it. And number 3, never forget what your name is. You're not leaving here a recruiter, you're leaving here as an R&R NCO. 8th platoon, prepare to graduate.
Staff Sergeant Campbell. Sergeant Food. Specialist Torres Soto. Sergeant Ulrich. Sergeant Valdez. Sergeant Vigo. Staff Sergeant Vincent. Sergeant Waldrop. Sergeant Walton. Sergeant Walton. Sergeant Waugh. Sergeant Webb. Sergeant Winger. Sergeant Werntz. Sergeant Wesley. Sergeant White. Sergeant Witt. Sergeant Williams. Sergeant Whitcomb. Sergeant Wiley. Sergeant Youngbear. Eighth platoon sergeant is Staff Sergeant Thomas. Staff Sergeant Thomas will also be receiving a certificate of excellence. Staff Sergeant Thomas will address his platoon for the last time.
What's going on, 8th? So thank you, Mr. Arnold, for stealing my entire speech. He literally hit everything that I was planning on saying. So
I guess I get to make this short and sweet. You know I love to do that. Met a lot of super okay people while we were here. I did not love every minute of being your platoon sergeant. I know you know that, and I'm sure Mr. Arnold can attest to that. He did not love every minute of being with us, but we definitely did have the most fun. It's not about you. It's about the people that you're going to find. It's about the lives you're going to change. Never forget to have fun. Never forget it's not about you.
At this time, we will recognize the soldier with the highest academic average, or as we call it, the Distinguished Honor Graduate. This class, Distinguished Honor Graduate, is Sergeant Aaron Hoyt with an overall academic average of 97.5%. At this time, we will also recognize the soldier with the highest Army Physical Fitness Test score, or as we like to call it, the Iron Soldier Award. This class's Iron Soldier is Sergeant Levi White with a total score of 296 points on his APFT. The student first sergeant for Sergeant Young Hall is Sergeant Grant. Sergeant Grant will be receiving a certificate of excellence. At this time, Sergeant Grant will address the class for the last time.
So, as y'all know, these 5 weeks have been so tragic. Because y'all know I've wanted to go home every single day. I came with the mindset of, I'm going to do my 5 weeks and I'm going to go home. This is going to be a breeze, you know. But, as y'all know, y'all put me in, 3rd Platoon put me as a student first sergeant. Y'all Blue Falcon me very, very much. I thank y'all for that, though, because y'all gave me the experience to be the first sergeant over Sergeant Young Hall. 2nd Platoon, y'all always had somebody late, by the way. So, 4th Platoon, I'm not going to call any names, but y'all had one guy that came late one day. With sunglasses on. I'm done throwing shade now. But anyways, thank y'all for letting me be the student first sergeant. I just want to hit on one point. Don't let today be the end of your tomorrow, okay? Make the right choices when you get home. This is going to be a big experience for you guys. It's going to be a big experience for me. And I look forward to doing this job and maybe seeing y'all in the future.
The student first sergeant for Lexington Hall is Sergeant First Class Wynn. Sergeant First Class Wynn will also be receiving a certificate of excellence. Sergeant First Class Wynn will now address the class.
Good morning, SQI4. All right, firstly, I'd like to thank our distinguished guests, family and friends, everyone in Facebook world for taking the time out of their day to support our class. I know a lot of you are asking if we're going to have the joke of the day for our final graduation. We're not going to have one. We're going to have two. First joke of the day. All right, and I'm professional. I got it sorted. All right, joke number one. What do you get when you mix a brown chicken with a brown cow? Brown cow. All right, and for joke number two, I'd like to come full circle. All right, for our final joke of the day, I want to bring it back to the first one that we started it off with. Sorry, Young Hall, you might have heard it, you might not. All right, Lexington, if you remember it, feel free to chime in if you like. What are Mario and Luigi's favorite type of pants? Feel free to take that home to your unit.
I'll say
there's not a lot else that could be said. Everything's been touched on a lot, you know, since everyone's been up here. But I still got my little notes. We're gonna go on with that. Be happy I didn't give my wife's horrible joke. All right, that being said, my wife Nicole is here. Thanks, babe. Feel free after graduation to let her know I told her a horrible joke and confirm my integrity. Cool? All right, back to business. I want to thank each and every one of you for dedicating yourself to this mission. Throughout my time here, I've been able to witness your motivation. All right, I've been able to listen to your stories, your shared experiences, and I didn't just hear them, I listened. And through that, I was able to grow and re-humble myself as a leader. So I really do want to say thank you, and I sincerely mean it. We had some issues along the way, all right, but we came through the other side relatively unscathed. As First Sergeant had mentioned, it's actually here in my notes as well, First Sergeant. When you get home from here and you need something to lean on, please let it be the NCO tree. Specifically, our two basic responsibilities. All right? Accomplishment of my mission and the welfare of my soldiers. I emphasize soldiers for a reason. When we get home, that person, that applicant across from you is not going to be a number. Please remember that. All right? That is a person. Everyone here is now the face of the Army National Guard. That is a tremendous responsibility. All right? Not only are we offering a unique experience that not everyone's going to get, all right? We are actually going to alter the course of somebody's life. That's a huge honor. Okay? With that, I have the utmost respect for everyone in here for choosing this path, for being here and following through. Whether you volunteered for it, whether you were voluntold, whether you need to change the pace. Either way, I thank each of you for this opportunity to serve. I have the utmost confidence that we will be successful, all right, and that is due to your professionalism. So, with that being said, let's go shape the future of the National Guard. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the graduates will now have 5 minutes to choose someone to pin their newly awarded badge.
You can say your house.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Class 19-002, Army National Guard, non-recruiter, career recruiter course graduates. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the exit of the official party and benediction given by Chaplain Family.
Receive the benediction, the final blessing, not only on our ceremony, but on our departure this morning. May the Almighty and everlasting Lord God of hosts bless the work, indeed the hands, the newly acquired skills, and honed competencies of these newly minted SQI4 graduates as they return to their homes, their states, their territories, their families, as leveled up assets for their organizations. Grant your peace that passes all understanding to all of our hearts and all of our minds. Bless us as we go forth in your peace this morning. Amen. Amen.
Class 19-002, you are dismissed!